for ABC4's Pac-12 Championship Game Special.
Tonight on this special Pac-12 Championship edition of Real Sports Live, it's Utah and Oregon for the right to go to the Rose Bowl. How much will that 38-7 shellacking the Utes put on the Ducks a couple weeks ago play into tomorrow night's results? We'll take a look back at every game this season, plus examine the legacy of head coach Kyle Whittingham and how the Utes overcame unthinkable tragedy and turned it into victory. And we'll go over our top 10 plays from the Utah football season. It's Real Sports Live, Pac-12 Championship style, and it starts right now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this special Pac-12 Championship edition of Real Sports Live. I'm Wesley Ruff, this is Dana Green, and for the next half hour, we're going to get you ready for tomorrow's huge showdown in Las Vegas between Utah and Oregon.
Cannot wait. We're going to hear from both the Utes and the Ducks. Let's start with the Pac-12 South champs hailing out of Salt Lake City. Of course, they just demolished Oregon not even 2 weeks ago, 38-7. The Ducks ranked third in the nation at the time, with the highest ranked team Utah's ever beaten. But can they do it again on a neutral field in Las Vegas for all the marbles? Well, Utah knows Oregon's going to come out angry.
We just worry about our mindset, right? But I know they're mad. I know they're going to come out hot, so it's exciting. You know, what more could you ask for?
I know they're more motivated, especially, after, coming and not playing their best football. So I know they'll definitely be more motivated, to play us.
This year they were trying to go to the playoffs, and we kind of ruined it for them. And 2 years ago they did the same to us. So we just have to come with a vengeance. We beat them this year once already, so prepare the right way, and I expect the same result.
In that game 2 weeks ago, Utah raced out to a 28-0 halftime lead. Now, Oregon's not really built to be a comeback team, so the Utes want to jump on them early again.
We really want to hit them in the face from the get-go and make sure that we set the tone early and let them know that we are the same team that played them last time.
No major overhauls, I would say, is probably the overall bottom line. One thing's for certain is, we made a bunch of plays in that game against Oregon a couple weeks ago that don't mean squat right now. Nobody, they don't care, and they're not going to have any impact on this game.
Oregon bounced back from that shellacking with an impressive win over Oregon State the following week, so the Ducks may have got their mojo back.
They played with a lot of intensity. Go watch their D-line and how they played last week. I think they got their groove back a little bit, and I think they're going to come in hungry and confident.
Now, the Utes have been here twice before, losing to Washington in 2018 and Oregon in 2019. But those who were there can learn from those experiences.
I mean, that game, the 2019 game and the 2018 game, losing both of those games, clinching the South, making it, to the championship, and then not being able to finish the job is definitely heartbreaking.
That's one thing that I learned from the first two games is how mental this game is. It's like a chess match.
Playing in their first game in Allegiant Stadium will also be a treat for the Utes.
I'm excited because so my dad's a Raider fan, so he's been talking about this stadium since literally before it was even built. He's like, this new stadium gonna be crazy. So, I'm excited to be able to play in it. I'll be able to rub that in my dad's face.
Oh, awesome, especially in Las Vegas. Never been to Las Vegas, so it'd be nice to gamble a little bit if I can. Yeah.
What's your game?
I haven't done anything yet, so yeah. I don't know, I just want to make some money. Yeah, I'll play some blackjack if anybody wants to give me some money for it. Yeah, I'm broke.
He's probably going to be more broke if he tries to gamble in Las Vegas.
Not a good place to win money. Hey, you know what the luckiest number is, though? 7, Cam Rising's number. So there you go. I think Oregon is going to play better than they did against Utah a couple weeks ago. I mean, they love to run the ball. And like we said in the package, if they get ahead, they're a tough team to come back on. But if you can jump on them early, Oregon's not built as a comeback team.
And Utah was able to come back against Arizona State, so they proved they can do that. But yeah, you want to get that lead and establish the fact that we beat you before, and now we're out in front of you again, and hopefully they can do that. And here's a stat that Utah fans are not going to like. Utah has never won a Pac-12 championship game.
0-2.
Oregon has never lost a Pac-12 championship game.
4-0.
So that's going to be tough. And
hey, it's got to end sometime, right?
We all know how tough it is to win in Vegas.
Right.
Even in football. But Utah has got the team built to take on Oregon. They proved it once. They can do it again. And people say, it's going to be tough to beat Oregon twice. Mostly you just have to beat them. You beat them once, you just have to beat them again.
Right. They just beat them 2 weeks ago. They didn't change that much. As for Oregon, well, they rebounded nicely after that thumping at Utah by beating Oregon State to clinch the Pac-12 North title last week.
Yeah, the Ducks said they were embarrassed by their performance at Rice-Eccles Stadium, and they're out for some revenge as they try to win a third straight Pac-12 championship.
The 2 weeks ago was probably the worst loss we've had since I've been here. So to get this team again, understand what type of game it's going to be, know what we did wrong, know how we can be better, let's do it again.
Whenever you get a second shot at somebody, it's always important to leave it out there. First one didn't go as well as we planned, as you said, and just having the opportunity to get back after it is amazing.
I think there's always carryover, there's always retention, but it is a brand new game with coaches that are working on both sides because everybody wants it, right? Everybody wants it and wants it bad.
They were more physical than us, and that's something we hammer here every day is being physical, and they out-physicaled us. And they ran the ball. We just couldn't stop it, but I'm excited for this week.
When we lost, I actually stayed on the field for a bit and kind of soaked it in. Some players were telling me, see you in 2 weeks, but them rushing the field when we lost, it was painful, watching them celebrate and watching other teams smile when we know what we could have done and how we could have played, and we didn't play to our expectations, so that really hurt.
There's no other motivating factor. Like, they embarrassed us. So as soon as the Oregon State game was over, celebrated it for a couple hours, and we were like, oh yeah, it's time, let's go. We got some unfinished business.
I think there's still some motivation because
no
Utah kept Oregon from playing in a possible college football championship game.
The crowd definitely played a factor at Rice-Eccles. We'll see if the crowd plays a factor in Las Vegas. I think there's going to be more Utah fans there than Oregon fans. It could get really loud.
Hopefully.
All right, well, there were several records broken this season, perhaps most notably Kyle Whittingham becoming Utah's all-time winningest head coach.
Yeah, Coach Whitt will always be tied to the University of Utah, but his story in college football began a little further south.
Before Kyle Whittingham was a Utah man, sir, he was a BYU Cougar. After graduating from Provo High School, he played linebacker at BYU, where his dad was an assistant coach under Lavelle Edwards. After a brief career in pro football, he was an assistant coach at the College of Eastern Utah and at Idaho State, then joined the staff at Utah in 1994. In 1995, he took over as the defensive coordinator under then head coach Ron McBride. He kept that position under Urban Meyer. But he almost didn't become the head coach at Utah. When Urban Meyer left, Whittingham applied at his alma mater, BYU, and he was actually offered the job to be the Cougars' head coach. But the BYU administration delayed the announcement because they were in Hawaii to watch the Cougar basketball team. And during that time, the Utah football players voiced their support of Whittingham to Utah Athletic Director Chris Hill, who then offered Whittingham the job. And it turned out to be a good choice. Whittingham recently passed Ike Armstrong as the winningest coach in Utah football history with that big win over Oregon.
It's been a long journey and a long grind, I guess you could say, although I loved every minute of it. But I really don't have a different stance or a different take. I mean, it's again, I just feel grateful that I could be at one place and have the opportunity to build so many relationships and have so many outstanding players come through and coaches. So I guess I'm not saying anything different than I've said the last couple of weeks, but truly feel very blessed. That's kind of the bottom line.
Whittingham's highlights have included an undefeated season and a win over Alabama in the Sugar Bowl and 3 Pac-12 South Division titles. But 2 goals have escaped him so far, a Pac-12 championship and a berth in the Rose Bowl. And he could accomplish both of those things with a victory in Las Vegas.
A little different playing the same team twice in a 13-day period. We got to get ourselves ready again for a very good Oregon Duck team.
A report came out last week speculating that if Utah wins the Pac-12 championship and goes to the Rose Bowl, Whittingham would retire. He addressed that on Monday.
No, I don't know who that was. I've heard a few things from people, and I'm having as good a time right now as I ever have, and so I'm not even contemplating that right now.
It's always fun when you're winning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and as exciting as this season has turned out for Utah, 2021 will always be remembered for who the Utes lost.
Yeah, Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe, 2 best friends from Texas, came to Utah to pursue their college football dreams, only to have their lives cut short by tragic shootings. But remarkably, the Utes have bonded together since their deaths and have memorialized both Lowe and Jordan with an incredible season. When Aaron Lowe was killed exactly 9 months after the death of Ty Jordan, the grief and pain were unimaginable.
Aaron, I know you can hear us, and I want to say collectively that we love you.
Aaron was more than a teammate, a best friend. That was my brother. That was like the big brother that I always wanted.
But somehow, tragedy brought this team closer together. The school retired the number 22, paid tribute to both players at every home game, and lo and behold, the Utes started playing their best football of the season.
I think that we've taken probably the hardest thing that can happen, and we've turned it into something beautiful. We'll always miss those guys, but we have great memories of them. And there's a sort of reverence whenever you talk about them, but I think we're getting to the point now where we just celebrate them, and we celebrate and we honor what they represent. So I think I'm at the point now when I'm asked about them, I don't even get sad, I just celebrate it.
With both number 22s in their hearts and in the final game on their helmets, the Utes won 8 of their last 9.
Just playing for them, playing in their memory, and really just commemorating them in everything we do. I've said it multiple times. I know they're out there with us, and, I know they're the reason why, we've been as successful as we've been. And so we just plan on continuing to play for them. And, like Covey said, we will remember them forever.
While Kyle Whittingham has been a rock for this team, he acknowledges that the maturity and strength of his players are the reasons why they've been able to turn tragedy into victory.
Our players deserve so much credit for how they've gotten through this and the way they've handled it, and just the leadership on this team is really the ones that are responsible for that. It's emotional for me every time I see it, and those guys. We love those guys. They're in the forefront of our minds all the time, and to continue to memorialize them and pay tribute to them I think it's awesome.
There aren't many teams in the country strong enough to overcome one tragedy, let alone 2. I love what Britton Covey said about turning something awful into something beautiful, and the Utes honestly believe they would not be where they are today without the inspiration provided by Aaron Lowe and Ty Jordan.
22% better every day is their goal now. And they got to be thankful to the rest of the Pac-12 too, because they honored Aaron Lowe and Ty Jordan as well by painting the hash marker on the 22-yard line red.
They put flowers on the 22. So every team in the Pac-12.
So kudos to all the schools to help honor
All right, we have to take a quick timeout on this special Pac-12 Championship edition of Real Sports Live.
Yes, but coming up, how did we get here?
I drove. I don't know about you.
I walked. We'll take a look back at the 2021 season when we come back.